morning.
Hey, Cheryl, how you doing?
I'm not doing that well, actually. I'd like to just show you some visuals of what the Hatteras Island residents live with every day. This is the highway to nowhere, which has been totally and grossly neglected for the last 35 years. My name is Dillon Dawson, and 8 months ago, many residents of Hatteras Island came to this office to you and asked you to go to Washington, D.C. and asked for another bill to be sponsored to open our beaches. A month went by, another dismal summer month because our beaches were closed. My son and I decided we would go to Washington ourselves. We met with over 20 senators and legislative assistants. We stayed up all night making DVDs, copies of DVDs, and a letter that my son had written about the devastation taking place on Hatteras Island because our beaches are closed. I called Mr. Judge the day after we returned, Warren Judge, and told him how successful our meetings had been. My son left a 2-month-old baby, a Japanese wife who hardly speaks any English, and successfully helped get a Democrat and Republican to co-sign Bill S-1557. Senator Burr's office called him about this 2 days ago, asking him why he hadn't been back in D.C. talking to the senators, we need to get this bill passed. In a month, our beaches will be closed again for the 3rd year because this county legislative body signed a consent decree to allow a congressional law to be overturned. Why are we spending tens of millions of dollars dredging Oregon Inlet every year? I've read the studies. It will hurt the local economy and the tourism. Do you think that closing our beaches and a bridge and a highway in total disrepair hasn't hurt the economy of Hatteras Island? In yesterday's paper, it was said that Bonner Bridge would be delayed again. Do you know what it feels like to have your grandchild in your car, in the car seat in the back, and have an exit strategy when you're crossing Bonner Bridge? Or heaven forbid if you get stopped at the light for several minutes. Why are we spending tens of millions of dollars every year for the free ferries to our south, the tens of millions of dollars dredging Oregon Inlet, when it appears that Bonner Bridge and the 42 miles between the inlets are not as worthy for your attention? We have adopted a do-nothing policy for the Outer Banks because it has been 36 years since we have had any beach nourishment. Our bridge is one of the worst bridges in America. Why does this same policy not apply for the ferries and dredging of Oregon Inlet? Is Hatteras Island the only place that has these environmental concerns, or are we just the unlucky ones that house Dirk Carter and Orrin Pilkey? I would like an answer to that, please. The residents of Hatteras Island are strong, resilient people. We have had enough. The gross negligence of this county and state to our island must stop. We are part of Dare County too. I would like for all of you, each of you, to wake up each morning and check to see if the wind is blowing, to see if you'll be able to make it plans to leave, to get to the mainland, to get to a doctor's appointment, a hospital, to have a baby. We need an ambassador for the issues of neglect for Hatteras Island because there are so many. It would probably take more than one person, full-time, to address these needs. If you plan to go to D.C. to ask for more money to dredge Oregon Inlet as it has been published and have free ferries, I personally know 3 of the men that are on the Southern Environmental Law Group in Charlottesville, Virginia. I coached some of their children.
Scott, conclude your remarks, please.
Okay. I offered to call them last summer. I emailed Warren and told them that I would speak to them and tell them the truth about what they were supporting. Mr. Judge said, we'll get together sometime. Well, it's been 8 months. Our highway was closed yesterday due to tide, possibly year-round if the latest attack by the Audubon Society is successful. It scares us to death. You know I will.
Remarks,
yes, sir, I will. Outer Banks is the only place on the eastern seaboard without beach stabilization. 16 jetties were built in Bald Head. A wealthy man sued. He won. I'm angry, disappointed, but most of all, the negligence must stop.